Brooms that were brought to Raleigh can be used to sweep the ending of this one under the rug. Rangers finally surrender a power play goal, and it comes with 3:11 left in the third period of a tie game. Carolina lives to play another day. It'll be Monday at the Garden. Rangers lose for the first time this postseason. 4-3 the final in Carolina. Welcome inside our Delta MSG studios alongside Steve Valiquette and Brian Boyle. I'm John Giannone. It was the first time we've seen in this entire playoff the Rangers trail by 2 goals, yet that didn't matter. But in the end, a power play finally did.
I think probably both teams got what they deserved, judging from the start. I really did like how there was a pushback, and we expected it. I think we knew it wasn't going to continue the way it started for the Rangers, and that's a motivated and very good hockey club in Carolina.
You guys, we watched the game closely together, and you see what my reaction looks like after the first goal goes in. I know it was a nice shot. It was a perfect shot is what it was. It was a perfect shot. However, from that distance with clear view of it, my expectations for Shesterkin, and I'm certain his expectations are a save there, and I think he's going to be hard on himself after this game, especially with the Skjei goal also going in from distance clean. It didn't hit anything on the way in. Now, Shesterkin is that type of a player. He really does carry it. He'll be responsible for it, and it'll be easier for him to move on after this, knowing that they were close. I mean, they had posts and open nets in the second period. I thought the Rangers, they easily could have been up in this game going into the third period.
Yeah, there's a lot to dissect and break down, and we're going to do it over the next hour on this Mercedes-Benz Rangers postgame show. But it is worth noting, for the first time in 31 playoff games, Igor Shesterkin allows more than 3 goals in a game. And the goal he allowed with 3 minutes and 11 seconds left was, as you mentioned, Steve, a Brady Skjei 55-foot wrist shot for the first power play goal in 17 attempts for Carolina in this series, and the first in 25 after the Rangers had killed off 24 in a row.
Well, that's their game. It is low to high and shoot it. For everybody that's tuned in for 4 games now knows that. And it was just another shot is all it really was. It was just another shot, because Igor has been screened on these and stopped them the entire series. 18 of them coming into this game where he was screened from there. So for him to get beat clean, I thought maybe a lapse of judgment, or the stick in front of him that waved at it may have thrown him off, even though Seth Jarvis's stick didn't touch it. Sometimes, as a goalie, you're anticipating a deflection, and it makes you flinch a little bit. That's my only explanation for that.
A one-time riser from the blue line. I mean, there's no better feeling as a player. You can clap bomb one from distance and it goes far down. It's like, it's a great feeling. But yeah, I mean, judging from the reverse angle, it looked like he probably had his sight lines on it. Look, I mean, he's been a very good player for them in this playoff run so far. Again, little details, especially the farther you go in the playoffs, little details matter more and more. There were a couple unforced errors in the first that led to goals against, and it had to be perfect shots for Carolina for them to get anything out of it.
And you know what else I think, Boiler? Anderson wasn't that good. Anderson was not that good. You got the bad goal from below the goal line from Lafrenière. I thought I saw at least 4, 5, or 6 times where he was beat. The post saved him. And to give you perspective on that, sometimes when the puck hits the post as a goalie, you're saying I had everything covered and that's all they had. I didn't see it that way. I saw it as he was beat. He didn't have a clue where it was, and the Rangers would have scored if not saved from the post. And there were many examples in this game of that. He's beat there. That wasn't, I forced it because my angles were great. He was beat there. He's beat on that one. It went off his knob. You know, these are goals. These are goals. And in this particular game, it just didn't turn in the Rangers' favor with luck. And luck is always a part of this.
100%.
It's a big component.
It really is, but you can look at a lot of different things if you're the Rangers, and they'll ultimately, I think, come back with this wasn't our best game by any means. But there were great moments in this game, and there were great plays in this game, but at no point was that their best, I don't think. If not all losses are created equally, and especially when you're up 3-0, you don't want to let a team get back in, but it's the hardest win to get. The fourth one's always the hardest. Yeah. They didn't play their absolute best, and they still had a chance to win. So you can gain confidence from that. You can have an understanding that we're not going to play that way again. And if you expect their best the next time, you're going to be better prepared at home on Monday night.
All right, so the Rangers will come home on Monday for a Game 5, looking to put the series away. Let's begin our reaction from Raleigh. Dave Maloney working the dressing room. Adam Fox, first up.
Yeah, gave them some good chances that they capitalized early, and it's hard to come back. But I mean, thought we had a lot of looks, decent amount of posts, and I thought it was actually a pretty good game out of us. But credit to them, they got one late there and were able to hang on.
What was said in the locker room, coming into that third period?
Yeah, I think we've shown all year we're able to come back. I think we were confident. We were able to tie it up, but like I said, they got a late one there, but. Overall, I thought the effort was there, and like I said, had a lot of good looks.
Is that something you hold on to now as you go to a Game 5?
Yeah, I think going back home, I think you would have loved to be able to win this game here and move on, but they're not going to go down too easy. So regroup, obviously, learn from some of those mistakes, and try and get that win on home ice.
You guys obviously weren't expecting to go undefeated, so I guess how does the mindset shift here now, going back home?
Yeah, I mean, got to win one game at home. I think, like I just said, they're, not going to go down easy and just give us that fourth win. So definitely going to have to earn it. But, I think this group's shown all year how resilient we are, and, I'm pretty confident in how we'll respond.
Yeah, so regroup is the word that Adam Fox used. I'd like to pick your brains, both you guys, on where does the Ranger mindset go? Having never lost in the postseason, having come within 3+ minutes of taking Game 4 to overtime, where we know how successful they've been already in this postseason. What's the Ranger mindset?
I would say, Brian, don't you think that the first thing out of Fox's mouth was, I think we played a pretty good game, and we hit a bunch of posts. We just finished saying that. I'm thinking these guys are saying to themselves, hey, that's a game we could have had easily. We're not going to sweat this. We're going to just get on the plane. We're going to get home, and we're going to take care of business on Monday.
Yeah, I mean, I think he said we gave them chances early, right? Not taking anything away, not trying to be disrespectful to Carolina. He just said it wasn't our game in the start. And they started on time, the Rangers didn't, and then they played, they crawled their way back in, credit to them. Again, they have more in there, and I think they know it. And even still, they could have won this hockey game. So it's never an easy path when you advance. Any series is different every single time, even game to game. There are moments in a game where you're on your heels and you win a lot of those games. These things happen. I think for the overall, what they've learned as a group in the last few years, this will benefit them. They'll understand it. The margin gets thinner and thinner the farther along you go.
What do you think about the start? Because they did lose the game with a bad start.
Yeah.
And we would have suspected they were going to start on time, knowing that Carolina was going to have a final push and start fast in this game.
It wasn't as clean. The transition game wasn't as clean. They weren't able to, even when they were trying to get rid of the puck just to space, not necessarily trying to make plays, they put it into space that led to quick transition back in their face, and they were on their heels. It wasn't really, the safe play they weren't making safely, I mean, for lack of a better way to put it.
Okay, so like Gustafsson's, the very first goal, it's a backhand that gets bombed into the feet of Gaudreau. He can't handle it because it's not a great first pass. And then it comes down the ice because Kuznetsov scores.
Well, he could have, so in Gaudreau in that sense could have probably, I thought, would have gone up the wall. He brought it back into the zone. You just go up the wall and you make Carolina come all the way back into the middle. I mean, you leave it in the middle of the ice, it's a faster way to attack, and you have all the options. If you have to peel it off the wall and you're a forechecking team, you have an opportunity to keep them over there on the wall. If he goes backhand here at the wall,
safe.
You got more time to recover if it's a change or whatever it was, and he knows it, and that was just he's trying to make a play to the middle and play fast.
And for what it's worth, it does speed up Shesterkin's process there because he is surprised that it's already coming back into my zone. And there's an element of surprise sometimes for a goalie where you're saying, oh my goodness, like another breakdown? And it felt like that in the beginning of the game. It was just one small breakdown after
Right,
that.
and it was, again, it's not a huge thing. It was up in the air. They had to catch the puck. But again, they have it in the middle of the ice. They can attack quickly. If you're a goalie, you may not get out to your spot, the depth that you want to take on the rush.
What it is.
The D are skating up ice thinking we're out or thinking about a change. They have to reevaluate and they have to process a fast rush coming at them. Where are you going to go? You're going to back up even farther.
And
you're not going to play a tight gap.
He was in no man's land as far as that goes because he didn't have time to get up.
And if there's panic, you're not going to err going at the guy. You can't torpedo players in this league. They'll make you look foolish. They're going to back off. And that was just a little bit to start. And that was the difference.
Yeah, and the Nason goal, the goal number 2, was also off of a giveaway, and it's a turnover, but it's a play that you're trying to, once again, get out of your zone clean, and it's a puck that just doesn't get out, and as Brian will tell you, those are the plays that kill you in the playoffs. It's the small ins and outs around your blue line, offensive blue line, and defensive blue line, and it's a rebound, too, for me, that when Shesterkin's at his best, his paddle keeps the puck on the rebound on the strong side of the ice. It doesn't go to middle. And that was also a play that was shot on goal, recovered puck, shot on goal, recovered puck, deep inches down. And everyone knows that's the style by which Carolina is going to play. I just felt like the pedal was down for them early, and they saw a little bit of a weakness in the Rangers early on.
Yeah, and I think they dictated the terms to start with their speed and forecheck. They realized even just mishandling pucks. If I'm a forechecker and I see a defenseman thinking or mishandling a puck or even giving it to his partner and it's not clean, I'm excited. I'm ready to get in there. I'm going to be a step faster now knowing this puck's coming back to me somehow. I don't know how. I don't know which way, but they're fumbling it. They're not quite ready yet. I'm going to come after them. And that's the mindset Carolina had to have coming into this game. Their backs were against the wall. They had no room for error. But they just played. And, the Rangers, again, it was just the start. There were a couple plays where, 9 times out of 10, and in a lot of different hockey games, it's not going to cost them.
Yeah.
But if Artemi Panarin has it on his wing, which he's on the right side, he's usually on the left, he could have protected it. You can't expose it there. Nothing happens then. Fast forward 10 or 15 seconds, and it's another goal.
And that's the way I look at this one too, John, is that a big portion of this game was the bottom 6 on both teams. The Rangers got 2 goals from their bottom 6. It's unfortunate that it had to fall this way.